Okay, so what is the qualities of good educator in your point of view?
I think the quality of a good educator is he or she has to go beyond classroom. That means like when they teach, they don't just read from the slides. They have to uh, make the students visualize something, or maybe they
Okay.
can use objects or other materials to replace their academic teaching styles.
Okay.
And what I meant by beyond classroom is when the lecturer should not just treat the students as students. There should really be concern about like the academic and stuff. I mean, obviously they don't have enough time to care for every
Yeah.
student, but
Yeah.
they have to show like they're truly passionate about teaching and they're committed in teaching, and not just like, oh, I've done my part, you get it or not, that okay, that's all, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And also the lecturer or educator, they have to explain no matter how many times a student asks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if the student don't understand, maybe he or she really doesn't understand, and they
Yeah.
have to be patient and really explain
Explain,
until they
yeah.
understand, because this is knowledge. You can't just, and we are learning, we all are learning. You can't just expect you explain one or two times then we understand, because some students, they are a slower learner
Yeah.
and they just can't judge everybody to be the same. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do you think bad educators same as bad moms?
It depends. Maybe some educator who is not so good,
Hmm?
they have different style of teaching their children.
Okay.
But then, if they are a bad educator, we as a students or learners, we may portray them to be as a bad mom, because we don't know what is their life
Yeah.
outside, so we will assume that they are bad moms. But if they are like a bad educator, but they are not good in teaching, doesn't necessarily mean they are bad mothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. What is the feature of bad educator?
The features of bad educators, I would say short-tempered.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
maybe we just like a few students ask the same question, then he or she gets frustrated about it because she explained and explained
Yeah,
already,
yeah, yeah.
and no explanation. It's like
Mm.
when you just read plainly from the slides, they don't explain what is there.
Okay. Some people would understand that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that means they expect the students to know. Yes, we may be in a tertiary level of education now, but doesn't mean we know everything.
Yeah.
Them,
General knowledge, right?
yeah, them as the educator, they know more than us, and sometimes they just can't expect us to know, because not all of us are very good in general stuff, or
True,
that
true.
kind of thing. And they should not criticize students openly in front of other classmates.
Mm.
Not only they will make the student themselves feel embarrassed, other student, it's not a good scene lah for other
Yeah, yeah,
students
true,
to
true.
see as well, because you as an educator, you should portray a professional image. If you want to criticize them or something, you should talk it privately and not openly, because I personally think it's really not a good scene.
And it make them, low self-esteem.
Yeah, and and I think the one that really explain a bad educator is when he or she doesn't know what they are teaching.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they read from slides, they have and all, but they don't know what they are teaching basically, because when we ask them, they say, oh, it's just like that,
Yeah, yeah. You can read here, right?
Yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So it's pretty hard lah.
Okay. So, do you assume he or she as bad educators when he or she give unfair marks? Like you got lowest mark from your friend yang selalu tak datang kelas.
It depends on the situations lah. If it's assignments, then maybe I'll think he or she is a bad educator if they fail to explain why I'm getting unfair marks from people who don't even come class. But if, like, let's say in an exam or something, maybe it's my own fault for not studying properly or stuff like
Okay.
that. So yeah.
Okay. So, do you think internet as good or bad educator actually?
Again, I would say it depends. If the
Yeah.
student is if a student is a good student and he goes on internet just for education purpose and for entertainment purpose, then yes, internet is a good education, because like Facebook, they have everything has its pro and cons, like including
Yeah.
Facebook. Yes, you get to connect with your friends, but then at the same time you might meet bad people on Facebook. But
True.
it depends on the student, on how they control themselves lah, how they limit themselves with what they want to do with internet.
Okay. Okay, so last question. In your opinion, does educator give influence to their student?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if a good educator, like he or she know how to teach the students, then the students will remember that particular things more. They
Yeah.
will study well, and it's they influence them in a way of they want to study. And if the educator shows passion in studying, then maybe the students will think that, oh, it's a good thing to be knowledgeable, I want to study as well, that kind of
As
thing.
their role model.
Yeah, they will
Okay.
take them as a role model.
Okay.
And not just like just a lecturer. She don't even know how to teach.
Okay. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.